The aim of today's practical is to determine ash value of given crude drug. When we heat any substance, when we ignite any substance, first it becomes black and then at the end it becomes white or gray in color. So this whitish or the grayish color is nothing but ash, which is the inorganic content. So today we are going to determine this ash content. This can be a physiological ash or non-physiological ash. Physiological ash means the parts of plant or the cells ends into ash, and non-physiological ash means some material is adhered to the plant part like soil, sand, and it is coming in the final product in the ash, that is non-physiological ash. So we are going to see three types of ash today: total ash value, acid insoluble ash value, and water soluble ash value. Ash value is one of the evaluation parameter of the crude drug, and what we need for this practical, we need powder drug, we need weighing balance, we need silica crucible. For ignition or burning, we need muffle furnace or tripod stand. Any one of these two we can use. If we do not have the muffle furnace, then we can use the tripod stand and desiccator for cooling. So it starts with uh, weighing the empty crucible, and we have to note the weight of empty crucible. For example, here the weight of crucible is 20 gram, and in this empty crucible we need to add 2 to 4 gram of powder drug, whichever the powder drug we have to evaluate. This powder drug we have to take. So here I am going to take 4 gram of powder drug. This is the powder of cinchona bark. So in the empty crucible I have added 4 gram of powder drug. So my empty crucible was 20 gram and 4 gram I have added. So my now this crucible plus drug is 24 gram. Total weight is 24 gram. So after that, I will be keeping it into either muffle furnace or on a tripod stand. So here tripod stand burner is there. In the muffle furnace, I'll be keeping at 500 to 600 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 hours. After 2 to 3 hours, I will see that the complete conversion has happened. If it is not converted completely, again I will heat it for some time. And when the white or gray end product is formed, I will remove it and I will keep it in the desiccator for cooling. Same way, if I do not have muffle furnace, we can use the tripod stand where the burner we can use, and we can see the change in the color. It will become black and then after it will become white or gray. And after that, once it is converted into the ash, we will keep it into desiccator. After cooling, we'll weigh it. So now the drug, the 4 gram of drug which we had added, now it is burned and it is converted into ash. So obviously the weight of 4 gram will reduce to some extent. So weight of now here we are weighing this crucible, and this crucible contains this ash. So weight of crucible and ash together, if suppose it is 20.8 gram. My crucible was 20 gram. I took the 4 gram of drug, and now after burning it, I am getting 20.8 gram. So I label it as a B, and my empty crucible was A. So the weight of ash, from this, if I minus the weight of empty crucible, I will be getting the weight of ash. So I will minus A from B. So B is 20.8, and I will be subtracting the empty crucible, which is 20 grams. So the ash is 0.8 gram. So my calculation goes like this: weight of empty crucible was 20, weight of crucible plus ash was 20.80 gram. So weight of total ash is 20.80 minus 20 gram is equal to 0.80 gram. So initially I had taken 4 gram of drug. So this 4 gram of drug is giving me 0.80 gram of the ash. So my 100 gram will be giving 0.80 into 100 divided by 4 is equal to 20 gram. So ash value is expressed in milligram per gram of the dried compound. So it contains 20 milligram per gram of the total ash. So by this way, we can determine the total ash. But there are n number of compounds are available, or the drugs are in the nature. So many of them will be having the same total ash value. So we can go to other ash value, that is acid insoluble ash value. And this ash value is generally carried out to determine the silica. So what we need for this, we need a silica crucible containing ash, and in this we will be adding 25 ml of hydrochloric acid. This is a dilute hydrochloric acid. So total ash is required for carrying out the acid insoluble ash. So we took a silica crucible in which we added a 25 ml hydrochloric acid, and we cover it with the watch glass, and we boil it for 5 minutes on a tripod stand. After 5 minutes, we will filter it. While filtering it, we have to use the Wattmann filter paper, and this Wattmann filter paper is ashless filter paper. That means when we are going to burn it, it will not produce any ash. So it is ash free or ashless Wattmann filter paper is there. So we are filtering it, and whatever the residue is there, we have to wash it because we have used the acid here. So still it become neutral. We have to add water and we have to wash it. So with the help of pH paper, we need to check its pH, and it should be neutral. And no acid trace should be there. Once it is done, we will remove this from the funnel, and we will keep it into the silica crucible. We have to weigh this silica crucible. That means empty weight we have to note. For example, I label it as C, and suppose this crucible is having 25 gram. The weight of crucible can change. Earlier we saw 20 gram. Now suppose this crucible is 25 gram. So I will be keeping this insoluble material which is written on the surface of this Wattmann filter paper. I will keep it into this crucible, and I will dry it. So I will keep it on a hot plate, and drying will happen. And once drying is completed, we will keep the same way what we did in the total ash. We will keep this crucible into muffle furnace at the same 500 or 600 degrees Celsius. Or I can use this tripod stand and burner. After that, after white color or complete formation is there, then I will keep into desiccator. This process will not take more time because ash is already formed. We are just having the Wattmann filter paper. So hardly in half hour or 1 hour, the process will be completed. And after cooling it, we will weigh it. We will note the weight. So weight of silica crucible plus ash is suppose 25.2 gram. We have washed the total ash with the acid. So some ash might be soluble in acid, and which will go away, and whatever insoluble was there, it is written on the surface of Wattmann filter paper. So now the weight is 25.2 gram. I will label it as a D. So weight of acid insoluble ash I will get from D minus C. I will be subtracting the weight of empty crucible here. So 25.2 is the weight of crucible plus ash, and from this I will be subtracting the weight of empty crucible. So 25.2 minus 25, this is the weight of empty crucible. My acid insoluble ash is 0.2 gram. So my calculations goes like this. Weight of empty crucible is 25 gram. Weight of crucible plus ash 25.20 gram. Weight of ash subtracting 25 from 25.20. So 0.20 gram is the acid insoluble ash. So 4 gram of drug. Initially, I had taken 4 gram of drug. From this 4 gram of drug, I got the total ash, and this total ash I use for making of the acid insoluble ash. So 0.20 gram I am getting. So 100 gram will give how much? I will be getting 0.20 into 100 divided by 4, that is 5 gram. So in milligram per gram, if I want to express, it is 50 milligram per gram. So my acid insoluble ash of the cinchona powder is 50 milligram per gram. Now the next is water soluble ash. We saw the total ash, then acid insoluble ash. Now I am talking about water soluble. This is the soluble ash. How much ash is soluble in water? So the same way, I need to take the total ash. I took the total ash, and here I am adding 25 ml of water. I will be keeping the wash glass over it and boiling it for 5 minutes. Then the same way what I did in the acid insoluble ash value, I have to filter it. So ashless filter paper I have to use. So after filtration, remove this Wattman filter paper, keep into this empty silica crucible, and before keeping it, we have to weigh it. For example, I label it E and weight is 30 gram. After that, I've kept my Wattman filter paper in it and drying it on the hot plate. And once drying completed, I will keep it into the muffle furnace or the tripod stand, and after that, I will cool it when the Wattman filter paper is gone from this ashless filter paper, so no ash will be formed. After that, I will keep into desiccator for cooling, and I will weigh it. So weight of silica crucible plus ash, for example, it comes 30.10 gram. I will label it as a F. So weight of water insoluble ash, we have to determine water soluble ash. Now what I am going to get, it's a water insoluble ash. Whatever the material which is written over the surface, that weight we are getting here. So if I minus I subtract E from F, that is the weight of empty crucible is subtracted from the weight of silica crucible plus ash, that is F. So I will be getting 0.10 gram, which is the ash insoluble in water, right? So this much ash is insoluble. Now I have to calculate the soluble ash. So see the calculation, weight of empty crucible is 30 gram, weight of crucible plus ash I got 30.10 gram. So weight of insoluble ash I got 0.10 gram. So how I will get the weight of water soluble ash? I will take the total ash, and from this total ash I will subtract the water insoluble ash. So this much ash is insoluble, and whatever was soluble, that is gone, that we didn't determine, right? So 0.80 gram we have got the total ash, and from this 0.80 gram, if we subtract 0.10 gram, which we have got here insoluble ash, so 0.70 gram is the water soluble ash. So 4 gram, this ash we are getting from how much total ash? We are getting it from the from the 4 gram of the drug. We had initially taken 4 gram of drug. So 4 gram of drug, we are giving 0.70 gram of the water soluble ash. So 100 gram will give 0.70 into 100 divided by 4, that is 17.5 gram. And if I want to express it into milligram, it will be near about 170 to 175 milligram per gram. So by this way, we can determine the total ash value, acid insoluble ash value, and water soluble ash value. Thank you.